mean, I was hoping with all the COVID protocols that maybe they'd give us an extra player to play with on defense, but we couldn't talk the league into that. But obviously they have a tremendous amount of skill players, and it all starts with the quarterback. He makes it all go. And then the guys they have to throw the ball to, whether it's Kelsey or, Tyreek Hill, Hardman, Sammy Watkins, you can't have two guys on all of them. So they present a tremendous challenge, and we're going to just do our best to try to keep them in front of us and limit the explosive plays that they feed off of and try to get every time they touch the ball.
Do you have another question, John?
I did. Anthony, does it help you at all that you've got that kind of speed and Fuller Cooks and Stills? Does that help you in practice prepare?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Having to go against those guys day in and day out has absolutely prepared us as best we can for this opponent. The other people that we have some running backs like David Johnson, Duke Johnson, who have a very similar skill set to the Clyde Edwards-Hilaire kid. Some good running backs that are good out of the backfield. So all those guys we have, as well as our backs, have definitely prepared us to play the Chiefs.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
Hey, Aaron. Great. I'm great.
Yeah. Anthony, when you look at the whole offseason, it's obviously been very strange. When you look at where the defense is now, how ready do you feel for this game, and how eager are you to see how it all come together after you guys have made some changes to the defense, including yourself now being the guy?
I feel extremely confident, Aaron. I know it's been a wild year. If somebody had told me, hey, you're going to get the defensive coordinator job, and you're not going to have a spring, you're not going to play any preseason games. Oh, and by the way, you got to face the two most recent MVPs in the league. I'm still taking the job. So, I'm excited. I'm excited about the way our guys have responded throughout all of this, throughout all the uncertainty and unknowns. They just come to work and they're just playing football. And that's all any of us want. We want to go out there and put on a good show for our fans and try to bring a win home to Houston.
And follow up, you mentioned Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. How much do you go back and watch college tape because you don't have the preseason when you have a rookie that it's looking like he's going to have a prominent role, and he's obviously a talented guy? Just what specifically do you see from him that makes him challenged? Thank you.
Yeah, we had to go back and watch college tape because of no preseason games, and he is a very talented back. He's built low to the ground, but he runs tough. He runs tough and strong, and he's very good out the backfield. So he presents problems. Absolutely. He reminds me a little bit of Darren Sproles, which obviously Andy had in Philly. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about using him.
Brandon Scott.
Hey, Anthony, could you tell us how different the defensive line is going to look schematically and stylistically, both through your personnel changes and your schematic changes?
We'll look different primarily because of the differences in personnel. We lost a tremendous player in DJ Reader, and obviously we released Angelo a few days ago. But I think the young guys that we have that are going to be forced to mature relatively early have been playing well. So you're going to see guys like Charles Omenihu out there, Ross Blacklock, who people may not know right this second, but hopefully, here throughout this year, they're making a bunch of plays and they become household names. So I think the biggest changes are going to be in terms of personnel. Schematically, you can only place them in so many spots. All right. And we're not trying to reinvent the wheel from a football standpoint. We're just trying to put them in the best position from a matchup standpoint to be successful.
And then also, what did you learn from those scrimmages that y'all have done? What did you learn about the unit that you maybe didn't know before y'all did those?
I think we have a bunch of guys who reflect what this roster was built upon, right? A bunch of guys that are dependable, that are tough, and are smart. And there's also a bunch of guys that just love playing football and being around each other. That's what makes it easy for me to come to work. These guys give you juice. When you're down, you think you're tired because you worked a 17-hour day, and you see these guys that are bright-eyed and ready to go out there and hit the field and play ball. You can't help but feed off of that. And I think people will see that when we play defense on Thursday.
Aaron Reese.
Hey Anthony, what did PJ Hall show you guys in the action when he started to practice to ultimately make the team?
Well, PJ Hall is a guy who's obviously played for 2 years in this league, so it's not like he's a rookie. And he has a very unique skill set. You talk about a guy who weighs 310 pounds. Well, when he got time for his 40 coming out, it was 4.73 or 4.68 or something like that. I don't know a lot of those humans roaming the earth. So he's such a unique guy in his ability. And as his technique continues to grow and his confidence grows, we see there's a lot of upside there with him.
With the lack of the preseason games and just lack of practices, how much of an issue do you think tackling will be early on for your team and just around the league?
Aaron, tackling is an issue when you have those preseason games. So it's certainly something that I'm concerned about. We do everything throughout the course of practices to try to simulate those. But until you've been in that real game situation with live speed, it's just different. So we emphasize it in meetings. We do everything we can to try to give tremendous effort in practice and take proper angles in practice. And you just hope it all carries over to live game situations.
Seth Payne? You're on mute. You're still on mute, Seth.
Don't yell at me, Anthony.
Seth, what are we doing, man? We played together.
I know.
You can't even unmute.
Specific to that, I've got a question specific to that. After I've got two questions. One,
all right.
Did you see Deshaun Watson's press conference and did you cry? Be honest, because I did. He brought his family.
I am embarrassed to say that I actually did not see the press conference.
No, you got to watch it.
I am entrenched in Kansas City film and game planning right now. So I was happy for Deshaun. It couldn't happen to a better guy, and we're obviously fortunate to keep him here with Houston for a while.
See, I'm not a football coach, so I've been watching a lot of Netflix, and this beats anything on Netflix. You got to watch the beginning where like Verlander and Dabo come out and his whole family. Second question, PJ Hall, you had mentioned, getting his confidence up. When I watched him at Oakland, because I had watched him play in college a few times, and I saw him at Oakland, and I thought, man, it looked like he was trying to be a run stuffer, and he's too athletic to be just a run stuffer. Is part of it just kind of convincing him that, no, you're a dynamic player?
Yeah, I think he's certainly more than just a grinder. I think just because of the nature of his position and really his body type, he's going to have to do that at times. But I think he needs to know when he can just pin his ears back and go. And I think we saw a little bit of that in the scrimmage, last week. And I think when you see those glimpses and those flashes of his unique skill set and the problems he can pose for an offense, it jumps off the tape. And I think that's why we were so excited and why PJ's here.
Mark Berman?
What's up, Anthony?
Hey, Mark.
In all your years in football as a player, position coach, now coordinator, when you watch Mahomes on tape, what goes through your mind?
I think he's one of the best to have played the position. He can make every throw. His arm talent is truly special. I mean, he's out there slinging balls like he's playing shortstop. He's an athlete. He's competitive. He's poised under pressure. He checks all the boxes that you want in a quarterback. The thing that encourages me is I feel like we got one of those guys too, in Deshaun Watson. So I love Patrick. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him and his game. But I think you feel a little bit more confident when you got one of those gunslingers on your sideline too.
What's the challenge like trying to figure out ways maybe you can't stop him, but just to try to keep him from dominating?
Yeah, and I think that's got to be the mindset. They're going to make plays. All right, that's how their offense is built. But if you make them go the full length of the field, you also hope that they make some mistakes. That's the game of football, right? It's a game of human error. And we feel like if we can force them to drive the length of the field and not get these chunk explosive plays, which they crave and feed off of, maybe they present some opportunities for us to make some plays.
Sarah Barshop?
Anthony, how much do you look back at those two games last year against the Chiefs when you prepare for this one?
You have to. They're obviously an opponent that we're really familiar with. They're going to look at those two games as well. And it's always a chess match, right? You want to show them looks that you showed in that game and maybe do something different. You want to use some of the things that you did that work. So you're absolutely studying that. And most coaches, I think you're going back even further than that. This is a team we've played you watch the two Patrick Mahomes games where we played them with Alex Smith. I believe they played in 15 before I got here. So you want to see schematically some of the things that Coach Reed and his staff had done.
When
John
you
McClain?
think back to that playoff loss, what stands out to you?
Oh man, Sarah, that's a tough question. You go back and obviously when you play these guys first, you're forced to peel back some of those scabs and relive those moments. And the thing that sticks out to me most is that we need to be in the moment. We can't get too high when things are rolling well, and we can't get too low when things seem bad. We just need to play in the moment and play that snap and that play for that play and do everything we can to try to be successful in it.
John McClain?
Anthony, most of the time when we do something for the first time, there's some nervousness or some apprehension. You had a first game, as a player, you had a first game as a coach. Talk about personally how you're feeling right now going into this enormous responsibility you've been given.
I feel really good, John. To be honest with you, to me, like, what is pressure? Like, pressure just means somebody cares about you. Well, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. They actually care about what you do. So I feel prepared, and again, I understand that I am the leader of this defense. I'm the defensive coordinator. I get that, but I know I got a bunch of tremendous people around me to help, and I'm not doing this alone. So I feel confident. I am so excited about just the opportunity to go there. You're facing the defensive champs. It's the first game in a pandemic. Like, what an opportunity this is for our defense and our football team. I'm thrilled.
Cody Davis?
Hey, Coach. Given the offseason changes you guys made to your defensive line, how confident are you in the Texans' improvements at stopping the run this season?
Well, Cody, first off, our defensive line coach is awesome. He is a great guy, and he's done a really good job with that defensive line. No, but I feel good. I feel really good. We have a bunch of guys, obviously, that are familiar with the scheme. I know we've made changes, but our leadership hasn't changed. So when you have a J.J. Watt in that room, a Brandon Dunn in that room, everybody else kind of follows suit. And when those guys are your leaders and they show it day in and day out, not just on the practice field, but also in the meeting room, it elevates your entire room. As far as our run defense, we have to improve. That has to be an area that we improve upon from last year. We have some tough opponents early, obviously with the Chiefs and the Ravens, who are, the Ravens are a dynamic run attack. The Chiefs, with the quarterback's ability to scramble, they add a new running back. They're going to pose problems, but the expectation doesn't change. It doesn't matter who they have and who we have. We got to play good run defense.
Last question for Matt Musil.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Matt. How are you?
All right, man. Hey, just a couple of quick ones. You've loved Charles Omenihu from day one. You mentioned him again today. What is that quality that just stuck out to you from the start? And if you could comment on what improvement he's made. And then also one of your guys, J.D. Clowney, is now in the division. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with Chuck. All right. So first with Charles, obviously, he's got tremendous physical tools. He has the largest, as far as arm length, he has the longest arms on the football team. And that, when it comes to defensive line play, provides you an advantage. When you can keep those offensive linemen at arm's length and they can't get both hands on you, it gives you an innate ability to just power the pocket. The other thing you love about Chuck is his hunger to be a really good player in this league. He absolutely yearns for that, and he puts the work in as a result. We asked him to put on weight, he did that. We asked him to get stronger, he did that. And you see the results on the field. So I think the sky's the limit for that kid. As far as Clowney goes, I don't know how he's going to look in that powder blue uniform. It'll be interesting. But I love JD. We obviously had 3 wonderful years here together, and he's back with Braves, man. He's back with Braves, so I know he's going to do some big things there. There's just 2 Sundays during the year that I certainly won't be cheering for him.
Great. Thanks so much, Anthony. Bernardrick is up.
Could you please talk about you